Alright guys, welcome to the HTC Aria disassembly and digitizer replacement video, and today we're going to be doing exactly that. So with no more delay, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to remove our 4 tri-wing screws from the back casing. Now if you guys are not familiar with what tri-wing is, you can go to our tool section of this particular training, and it will you can see exactly what a tri-wing is. It's a little different from a Phillips, a little different from a Torque screw. It is a tri-wing, and this particular phone, the Aria HTC, has 4 tri-wing screws in the back that you need to take out to remove the back casing. Right, next thing you want to do is you want to use your spudger to separate the back casing. So you just stick your spudger in, kind of use some leverage, should pop right off that back casing. All right, next thing you want to do is remove all of your memory, your battery, your SIM card, all of those external devices. Next, you want to remove your daughter board cover. Should pop off pretty easy. Next, you want to use the technique you've been using on a lot of phones, your plastic pick tool, to remove the logic board cover. Little plastic yellow piece. You're going to slide it up. There you go. So next thing you want to do is disconnect the antenna at 2 points. There's one close to your daughter board, and there's one close to your main logic board. Right, the next thing you want to do is remove the 2 logic board screws. So these are 2 screws that are actually holding your logic board in place. Next thing you want to do is apply a little low level heat. And when I say low level, I mean around 100 degrees. The hot air tool that we actually provide for you guys, if you actually get it from us at shop.cellularrepairschool.com, it's about 100 degrees. Is low level heat. So the next thing you want to do is unlatch the metal unit on your motherboard. You guys will see this pretty easy to see. You just want to unlatch it, and then you want to use a tool. Right here, our technician is using a blade to release his logic board from the device, from the main device. Set it to the side, and the next thing you want to do is you want to use some low level heat, again about 100 degrees, right around your digitizer, the outside of your digitizer, to release the adhesive. Again, low level heat is great for releasing adhesive. Many of these phones, different parts, are held together by nothing more than some really good sticky adhesive, and a good way to get that to come apart without damaging any component or any parts is using low level heat. So next you want to use your blade to separate the digitizer from the device. So you can see that our technician's already got a little gap. So all he does is he sticks his blade in between the digitizer and the middle frame of this phone. And what he's doing is separating the adhesive that is holding the digitizer and this middle frame of this phone together. As you guys can see, he keeps the finger in, keeps it a little separated while he sticks his blade in and basically cuts away without damaging the LCD if your LCD is not damaged. So you want to make sure that you're angling your blade so that as to not damage the LCD. And you want to do this down both sides until your digitizer actually separates from your LCD and the middle frame of your phone. So there you have it, your broken digitizer. Next thing you want to do is apply some more low level heat to the back side of your middle frame or your middle housing of this particular phone. Next, you want to remove the LCD. If you need to add a little bit more heat to do this, feel free. Just be sure not to damage your LCD with the heat. set your LCD to the side. Next thing you want to do is you want to remove your label. And if you need to use more heat to do this, then by all means use more heat to remove your label. Your label is held on by adhesive. As you guys can see, adhesive is works very well. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Next thing you want to do is remove the keypad flex, which is right under the label. And you can see it's also adhesive to the middle housing or mid frame of this particular phone. So what you guys can see is that our technician is actually working that keypad flex out through the top. There's a little bar that's holding it in. So he's just going to work it until it actually comes out. In this particular step, he actually releases a little button, which makes it easier for that flex to come out, because that flex is actually connected via a button to the side of that middle housing. And he gets it out. And there you have it. The next thing you want to do is remove your flex cable at the bottom of the phone. And this is a microphone flex cable. So you want to go ahead and remove this particular piece from the middle housing. We will be reinserting this later on. Again, folks, this is a full disassembly. If you don't need to go as far as this to do, say, a digitizer replacement or LCD replacement, then please don't go this far. The next thing to do is to put this phone actually back together. So we're going to start putting it back together or reassembling the phone. So the first thing we're going to do in that is insert our keypad flex back into our phone. And basically, this is a reverse of steps. Everything we've just done, we're going to do it again in reverse. So what we're doing here is putting in our keypad flex, and we need to be sure to reconnect our RF connectors that are under the board. There are actually some connectors under the board, so we want to make sure that we connect those. Now, this particular step is very hard to see. Our technician will be back on the screen in just a second, but what you guys should understand is that there is a connector right under this board, so be sure to connect that back to its proper place before you actually set and place the board back in its proper place. Okay. So once you get that connected, go ahead and set your flex cable. Next, you want to insert your speakers, your earpiece speaker. And then we're going to insert or reinsert our mic flex cable. And then on top of our mic flex cable, we're going to insert our plastic mic cover. Next thing we're going to do is insert our LCD into our mid frame. And we're going to set it so that it seats properly and make sure we align it properly. Next thing we're going to do is blow our LCD off and make sure we get all particles off of our LCD before we actually apply or connect our digitizer to the daughter board. So to connect our digitizer, we're going to connect, there is a ribbon cable that comes off of our digitizer, as you can see in the left hand of our technician, who's actually kind of holding it in place. So you guys kind of got to use your skill. This ribbon cable is connected in between that ribbon, that keypad flex cable and the middle housing on the left side, right where the technician's left hand is. So you want to make sure you look for that connection and connect it properly before you actually set the digitizer completely onto the middle housing of this particular phone. And you guys should be able to see that. It's pretty easy to see, but as you can see right here in this video, you can see how it's connected. Now that he has it connected, he's just going to fold it down and set it. but you want to make sure that that digitizer is connected. Next thing you want to do is connect and adjust your RF connector wires. So just make sure they're aligned properly. As you can see, the technician is making some adjustments on the alignment of the wires. You want to make sure your wires are running properly. Next thing you want to do is insert your logic board. You want to make sure it sets properly, nice and flush. And then you want to insert your logic board screws. Next thing you want to do is connect your RF antennas. Next, you want to reinsert your label. The next step is to close and connect your logic board cable. Next, you want to connect your logic board cover. So your next step is to insert your speaker cover. Next, you want to place and set your logic board trim at the very top of your phone. Next, you want to insert your memory card and SIM card. Next, you want to reapply your daughter board cover. Insert your battery. And reinsert your 4 tri-wing screws. And last but not least, you want to reattach your back housing cover. And once you do that, you want to power up and test your unit to see if it's working.